Hey guys, here with me I have Busayomi who will be sharing with us the process of moving to Canada as a permanent resident, the documentations you need, the process from the start to finish. And if you think this is something that's going to interest you, just keep watching till the end. And don't forget to hit the red subscribe button to join the amazing Going family. Hi, Busayomi.
Hi, Daniel.
Good to have you here.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think we've been procrastinating this particular video for a while now,
yeah,
and
for a long time.
um, I'm glad it's finally happening anyway. So, congratulations once again on your relocation to Canada.
Thank
And
you.
Visaya just moved to Canada with her partner last year, and she's going to share with us some of the information that are very crucial as regards moving to Canada as a permanent resident. Some of us ended up coming to UK and spent millions of naira, but some people enter Canada without paying any money. But it is where everything that has to do with the process from start
Yeah,
to finish. So first, I'm just going to start with this question, Bisaya.
yeah.
What actually motivated you to move to Canada? Why not any other of the developed country? Why Canada in particular?
Yes, so what actually motivated me, or let me say what motivated us, because I moved to Canada with my partner. So what motivated us to move to Canada is because of Canada is very easy compared to like other countries. So like I say, Canada is easy in the aspect that, we moved as a permanent resident, and like, so there are like many opportunities, attached to being a permanent resident in Canada. There are many. So for example, like you have the opportunity to live and work in Canada, you have the accessibility to travel to like over 180 countries without applying for a visa, and you also have to become a citizen after living in Canada between 3 to 5 years, and like many other opportunities that that is attached to being a permanent resident actually motivated us to come to Canada as opposed UK, US, or like other country. And yeah, we actually love it here in Canada so far. Like we've been enjoying it so far here in Canada. It's not the best, but yeah, trust me, is far better compared to like what we have been enjoying back home. So like these are the things that we thought together, and then we're like, okay, and we actually want like the best future for our children as well, and many opportunities that we thought together, and then we're like, okay, that we thought
Time to move to
thought
Canada.
about, and then we're like, okay, yeah, like we actually chose to come to Canada
Okay.
instead of like going to UK, US, or
Okay.
like other country.
All right. Some of us are in the UK anyway, so that's not the way.
No,
All
like
right.
no,
So
I don't mean UK is bad, but
no,
like
I get what you mean. For me, I understand the fact that moving to Canada has what's the word now? The pathway to citizenship is faster
yeah, it's
compared to
fast.
the UK. For UK, you probably need to stay on a student visa for 10 years to even think of applying for a permanent residence. I
PR, yeah.
understand that part. Now, knowing the fact that you've got like a banking career back in Nigeria, and I'm sure your husband also have a career back in Nigeria.
Yeah.
When exactly did you decide to start the whole process of moving to Canada? Were you considering moving in as a student initially? At one point, did you decide, oh, it's going to be PR route, and all of those stuff?
Yes, so my husband was actually the principal applicant, and
Okay.
he started the whole process before adding me to his profile. So initially, he wanted to come in for his PhD in 2017, 2018, but that did not work out. And then, he started considering coming in as a permanent resident. So he started the whole application as a single applicant in 2019. And I met my husband in like late 2018. So, we could not have done our wedding ceremony, like court wedding and white wedding and all that. And we could not have like claimed that we were married then, because I literally just met him. So we were not married then. So he started the whole process as a single applicant, right? And then the whole journey started in 2019. He did his IELTS, he did his WES credential evaluation with WES, and then he, entered the pool. He got all the documents required, and in 2021, he then added me. That was after we did our wedding, our court wedding and our white wedding. He then added me to his profile then. then as a dependent, and I was able to join him on his profile, and yes, so that's how I was also able to come to Canada as a PR with my husband.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you mentioned something about him writing IELTS and doing West evaluation. Now, for you as a dependent, did you need to also go through that same process?
Yes, so because he added me like in the middle of the process, right? Because he started in 2019, like I said, and then he got approved, like he got the invitation to apply, which was after. So let me explain it this way. We actually got a provincial nomination in Ontario, and that
Okay.
was in 2020. My husband got nominated by Ontario, so he had to apply through Ontario because the scores for the express entry was high.
I know, right?
It was high. So like he got nominated by Ontario, and he applied through the provincial nomination through Ontario, and then that was approved. After that was approved, then he had the chance, because once you have provincial nomination, you have additional points to your
Yeah.
CRS score.
Oh, yeah.
So he had additional 600 points to his CRS score, which now brought his whole CRS score to like 1,000 and something.
Wow.
So like that automatically gave him like the leverage to get, like he had a high chance of being picked in the next draw.
Next,
So the next draw that they did in 2021, he was given the invitation to apply, and then after he applied, they acknowledged the receipt, and then that automatically locked his score. Meanwhile, he had not yet added me to his profile. So after the acknowledgement of receipt, and he did his biometrics, that was in 2021. Then after I did his biometrics, then that was when we applied for our court wedding, and then we did our white wedding. So in this case, once you have your acknowledgement of receipt, like they acknowledge that they have received your application and they are going to start processing your application, usually it takes 6 months for them to, like, between 6 months, maximum of 6 months, for them to go through your application and approve it finally, and give you the confirmation of permanent residence, and send you the confirmation of permanent residence mail. But what happened, because of COVID and everything
Yeah.
got delayed. They had a lot of backlogs and everything like that. So our application from then till when it was finally approved took like almost 12 months again. So
Wow.
in the process, we did our court wedding, our white wedding, and then my husband added me to his profile. Like, he notified them that, oh, hi guys, like I'm no longer single. Like, I applied as a single applicant, but now I'm married, so I would like to add my wife to my profile. And like, the process was still, the application was still in process, so like he had to like notify IRCC. And yes, so in that case, I did not need to like write IELTS, and I did not need to evaluate my credentials with West, because like it was going to be useless at that point, because
Yeah.
I didn't need it. I'm not going to contribute to a score,
This for anymore. Yeah,
so like,
that's
I
very
have
true.
to write IELTS and West. So I didn't
Oh,
write IELTS, and I did not evaluate my credentials with.
oh, that's interesting. Honestly, I understand that one can actually move with his or her partner, but I never knew you can have a partner almost to the end of the whole process.
Yes, yeah, like, yeah, and that thing is actually, like, most people know, like, people know about it. I won't say most people, like, people know about it, but people are scared that, because like we don't know these people. They
Yeah,
can come back and tell you that, or like, why didn't you add your
the
spouse, like,
partner from the start.
why are you adding your spouse in the middle of the thing about it is that you don't have to lie. This process, you have to be you have to be truthful about it. You have to tell them everything about you, because they do their background checks, and if they find out that, okay, like maybe you were married before you started the application, and then you now lie to them that, oh, like you just got married in, like, after your application as like after they've given you the invitation to apply, they will definitely cancel the whole thing. So like we were not lying to them, like we were not married, we didn't do anything, and we didn't have children. So like there's nothing complicated about the whole
About the whole process.
situation. And then
Yeah.
when he added me as well, we also provided like our charts from when we started dating to prove to them that it was not an arrangement.
Wow.
Wedding. We also provided our certificates, pictures, and everything, like just to prove to them that it was not an arranged, like not like I'm his sister that is just telling you guys that this is my wife. So like
I understand the fact that there are different pathways to moving to Canada as a permanent resident. Please, would you like to share with us some of the different pathways available for moving to Canada as a PR?
yes, so to move to Canada as like there are many pathways, to be honest. Like there are many pathways that I cannot mention all, but
Okay.
the one that I can like mention at the top of my head, I know you can move to Canada as a permanent resident through the express entry route. And you can also move through the provincial nomination. That's if you have a province that nominated you from the express entry pool. Like, okay, so some province also like nominate people from express entry pool. If you meet, their requirements, they nominate you. So you can also move into Canada as a permanent resident through that. You can move in as a permanent resident through work. So like if you are people actually get work permit from like their own country, and their employer sponsor them, and they move to Canada, and then they start applying for the permanent resident
While working with the organization.
yeah, like while working with the organization. Then also people move through school. Like a lot of people move through school, like because once you are done with your school, there is like I think 2 years or 1 year. The school after your program, you have like 1 or 2 years. I'm not so sure now for you to apply for your PR as a student, and definitely you'll be working during this time as well. So like you have your work experience to show for. And also people also move in through spousal sponsorship. So for example, if you have your husband in Canada or your wife in Canada, they can actually apply for you to come to Canada as a permanent resident. I have a couple of friends that actually move in through that. They had their husband here in Canada, so they later joined their husband, after their wedding, and after like couple of years, they joined their husband here in Canada. And also you can move to Canada as a PR, as a dependent, like just like those ways. Like I know people also move in as refugees, and then at the end of the day, maybe after working or after schooling, and then they can also convert that to permanent resident. Like there are various ways of actually becoming a permanent resident, but like these are like the common ones that
Most common ones. Yeah.
that use to move to Canada.
Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, your partner moved into Canada through the express entry. Am I right?
Yes, my husband actually moved into Canada through the express entry.
Okay, that's interesting. So I don't know if you have this information at the top of your head right now. So for people who are probably thinking of coming into Canada also through the express entry, what are the documentation you think they need to have on ground that will be relevant or useful towards the application?
Yes, so like the document that I know at the top of my head that they need to have, the first thing, they need to have their international passports ready, their valid international passports ready, and they need to have their IELTS results ready, and they need to also have their evaluated credentials with anybody, because different courses have different bodies. Like if you studied law, I know it's a different body that will evaluate your credentials, but we used WEST. So my husband used WEST because he did data analysis and data science. So so if it depends, you just have to check that out. Then you also need to have your reference letter from your employer ready.
Okay.
Yeah, and also you need to have your bank statement showing the proof of funds. That is actually very, very important. Like before you create the profile, you need to make sure that you have the proof of funds ready. A family of one, the proof of fund is around 13,310 Canadian dollars for family of one. So like it differs, depends on like how many people are
How many
coming
people are coming
under
on?
you. Yes. So like, but for family of one, for just one person, is 13,310. So you can actually have more than that amount in your bank statement. That is very, very okay. But you just have to make sure that you don't have lower than the required proof of funds. So like I think these are like the major document, and then other document also, like once you create the express entry profile, you would see other document that you need to upload,
You need
like
to
if you are
upload.
married, you need to upload your marriage certificate, birth certificate for your children and all that. So like you just have to show like other required documents based on how you're applying and like your family size. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that. Aside from having information, about moving to Canada, one of the things many people actually put into consideration, because while I was also thinking of doing that, sometime
Yeah.
in 2020, the financial implication was one of the things I was like, where am I going to get this kind of money from, and
Yeah.
all of those stuff. So I don't know if you can probably just share us like an overview of the cost implication that came as regards this whole express entry process. Just a
Yes.
few of them that you can remember, yeah.
Yes, so for I know like for the IELTS, the fee was around 85K, but currently when I checked, it was 89. Now IELTS fee is 89,500. Then
Okay.
if you want to evaluate your credentials with West, that is around 240 Canadian dollars, which you would convert to naira. Then you also need to get your police character report ready, which is around 10 to 15,000, depends.
That,
And
that was that was before. The last
yeah,
report I
that's
did a couple
before
of days
like
ago was 50K.
yeah, when we did. So now I
It's
don't
just
know how
ridiculous.
much it would be, but like
Yeah,
you can still like bargain with them.
it's
Like
what I was doing it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And also you need to pay your biometric fees, and that's like 85 Canadian dollars. And yeah, so like for the proof of fund as well, you need to have that ready. So for the proof of fund, some people also do like gift deed. So the gift deed means that like someone else can actually, put the money in your account, but they just have to write a letter confirming your relationship, and also confirming that they actually, gift you this a
The
particular
particular
amount
amount.
in your
Okay.
year. Because like when you are showing your bank statements, you don't want to show your bank statement that okay, from January to December, and then in October you received like 10,000 Canadian dollars. Like where's that, like convert it to naira, like where is that coming from? Like you need to explain. Yeah, but like unlike you showing, like your bank statement shows that you've been saving for like a particular period of time, that is different. But if you want to like do like a gift deed, then you need to get a letter from that person explaining like okay, why they like your relationship, and also like them confirming that okay, they actually gifted you this particular amount in your account. So like people do that as well. And also you can use pension statement as well, like the money you have in your pension statement, you can add it to confirm that that is, add it to your POF. So like you don't necessarily have to have the whole 13,000 in your
In
account.
your bank
What
account. Okay.
that you can also show your pension statement that okay, you have access to this particular amount. When you stop working for like a particular period of time, you have access to like I think 40% of that amount. You can also add that to the statement that you are showing them as your POF.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I actually don't even know this part you just mentioned. I know you need a certain amount for your proof of funds. For UK, you can't include your pension accounts as
Yeah,
proof
so
of funds.
yeah, because we did that. We included our statement, our pension statement, stating that this is the particular percentage that we can
You
access
can
when we stop
access.
working
Yeah.
for a particular period of time. So like we added that to our POF, but like we still made sure that we add enough in the bank
Enough in your bank.
statement. Yeah, so just in case.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's this common saying among myself and my friends that moving to Canada is a waiting game. Honestly,
No.
it can be frustrating sometimes.
It's a game of patience. Like if you are not patient, it will test your patience. Like that's it.
Interesting, because I know a lot of my friends that wanted to move to Canada, but after being on the pool for a long time, they got frustrated, disappointed. A couple of them moved to the student visa, which made it a bit longer compared to just waiting and
Yeah.
moving straight as a permanent resident. So lastly, I'm just going to ask, moving to Canada, yeah, it's of course I'm sure it came with its own advantages and disadvantages. How has life been in Canada?
Yes,
For me,
so
I'm going to tell you, life in UK is not smiling.
I
How was
think
life in Canada
yeah,
here?
I think you moving to more like leaving behind everything you are used to move to start a new life is definitely not going to be on a platter of gold, or it's not going to be rosy and all that. Like you have to like it's more like you starting from scratch, right?
Very
No
true.
matter like yeah, I could tell for the fact that like we're doing okay, like we had good jobs back in Nigeria, but we just wanted to move because of the quality of life and accessibility to like the basic amenities
Nice, it's
that
true.
we have here that we don't have in Nigeria. So like you moving to Canada has actually been a blessing. Like looking back, there's no regret at all, but just that we are still trying to like settle down and settle in into the system and like find like it's the jackpot. But but yeah,
Yeah.
it has been amazing. It has been an amazing ride so far. Like it has been an amazing ride so far. I'm not going to lie, just that I don't like the code, but
Yeah, it's part of the sacrifice.
sacrifice.
That's interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. And guys, I know you probably have lots of questions as regards moving to Canada. They might want to check out Busayo's YouTube channel. I'm going to put a link below so you can check out our channel. Connect with her on our social media platforms. So you can have. I'm a UK person. Now I'm bringing to you guys a Canada person that can give you all the information you need as regards moving to Canada, even though some of us are still planning to jackpot to Canada eventually. So just go on Busayo Mi's YouTube channel to watch some of our videos. I recently watched a particular video on our channel and it was full of lots of information. I'm going to put that video's link also in the description of this video so you can check out our page and ask her your questions that you might find a bit confusing. Thank you so much, Busayo Mi, for honoring the invitation to come here.
No, I
Thank you
should
so
I
much.
should actually say thank you to you for bringing me to your channel, because like I'm a big fan of you, like, and I'm super proud of your channel. And thank you guys so much for supporting Daniel. Like the support is massive. Anytime I just click on your video and check the comments, the support is always so massive. And thank you guys so much for supporting Daniel, and don't stop subscribing. I think the goal for this year is 100K.
Yes, sir.
100K subscribers. So guys, keep subscribing.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And I think this is probably going to be the end of this particular video. So guys, rush on Busayo's channel and click on our subscribe button as I tell you guys to do on my also, and follow our content going forward. Probably very soon, I'm still going to bring out this channel to come and share with us some more in-depth information as how living in Canada has been for her so far. All right, thank you so much, Busayo. So I'm going to